Hmm. Yo. Yo. What's up, guys? What's up, Losh? How's it going? 1, 2. What's up, Wing Chun? How you doing? What's up, Casey? I'm glad you could join. Hey, Benjamin. How you doing today? What's up, Say My Name? Hey, Sal. How's it going? All right. Let's get started. Let's finish today real quick. I gotta get to work. Gotta get some work done around here. Can't just sit around reading books all the time. Actually, that is what I do all the time. That is my job, isn't it? Sitting around reading books. He's late. You're late. All right. It'll be super fast today. Okay. Why do I always fail these? What? What now? What now? Robot test. Robot confirmed. I finished. I did it. I was successful. All right. Not looking at chat. Oh, can I do this? Siren. Siren. Damn it. Siri. Cyric. Siri. Is that a word? Shrek. Shri. It's gotta be AR something I. Sergi. Servi. Servi? Siri. Serious. Sirio. Cereal. Cyric. Sirig. Serif. Cyric. Cyric. Seriv? What is his word? Oh, God. It's just series. But singular. Huh. Damn it, that is not a word. Cirid. Wait, what? Is it Shri? That doesn't make any sense. Scry? Oh, that's a word, right? Scry? I think that's a word. That is not a word. That's scrying. Scree. Wait. Sorry. E-R-I. B. I-E? Sirer? Sirid. Siris? Serig. 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 It's Hebrew. Serix. Seric. Seriv? Serib. Wait. Well, something IE then. E-R-I Ceres. Oh my god. Siri. What is this word? Alright, just gotta make up words now. Serif. Serig? Seril. Sounds like a word. Serix. It's a badass name. Sounds like Seric. Serum. Serib. Ceris. Ceris? Serer. Wait, how is Serer a word? I better not lose this or I'm gonna just quit the fucking stream. Ceres. Did we try that? Fuck! I'm gonna quit my life. What is this word? Seril. Ceres. Seric. Wait, nothing sounds right. Seri. Seri. Serer. Ceres. What? Oh, like sans? Like serif? Oh, serif. Oh! Serif is a word. I should know. I use that font. What's up, rude noise? What is serif? God, I knew serif too. You guys know what a serif is? This is the little things on the letters. I don't know what a serif is. Oh, obviously, it's a pebble-strewn desert plain, commonly found in the Sahara. Nikki, yeah, Nikki knows. Pebble-strewn desert plain. Serir. How do you pronounce that? Even look at this. Google does not know either. It's correcting me to Siri. Siri is a word? Did Wordle know? Wordle didn't know. I thought Merriam-Webster had pronunciation. No? I never knew how to read this thing. What does this say? Serrier. Serrer. Serrer. Pronounce it for me. Oh.
Serrier.
Serrier? How do British?
Serrier.
Serrier. Serrier. You're a Serrier.
Serrier.
Serrier. Serrier is a Serrier, guys. It's a Serrierius. Serrierius. So front Serrier, yeah. All right. That was a disaster. Let's do connections. Serriously. Jungle Gym stand-up light bulb. Broccoli. I thought it said broccoli, babe. What's going on, connections? Broccoli rabe. I'm not a cook. What is that? Olive oil. Wheel, open mic, Mary, brain stew. Wait, what? Mocktail. Printing press. Honest. Moral. Sliced bread. Decent. And Virgo. It's the best thing since sliced bread. The wheel was made a long time ago. The printing press also made a long time ago. And the light bulb. No? I'm gonna try it. Oh my god. I did not expect that. Olive oil. I'm on a roll. Okay, let's do this. Mocktail. Open mic. Stand up. Mocktail. Brain stew. Broccoli rabe. Rabe. Moral. Moral, decent, a stand up, and honest. Gotta be. Gotta be. Olive oil. Virgo. There's virgin olive oil. Mocktail. Jungle gym. Open mic. What? Mary. Mary had a little lamb. Virgo. Virgo ate some spam. Jungle gym. Jim. Stew. Mike. Mick. Jim. Oil. Tail. Mocktail. Jungle gym. Olive oil. Huh. Olive oil. Broccoli. Open. Open. Brain stew. I don't get it. Brain stew. Olive oil. Olive oil. Mocktail. I don't know what a broccoli rabe is, though. Jungle gym. A jungle? Jungle gym. Jungle gym. I don't know. Liquids? A mocktail? Olive oil? Huh. I have no idea. All right. These sound like names. I'm gonna try this. Huh. One away. Okay. Broccoli rabe. Don't know what that is. Mary. Virgo. Olive oil. Interesting. Can I eliminate that? One away. Okay. Open mic. Oh, wait. There's one away. So it could be this. Am I right? Virgin things. Seriously? I said it. Virgin Mary. Oh, mocktail is virgin. Virgo. Is that a virgin too? I bet that's a virgin. God damn it. Ending in nickname homophones. What? Rabe. Rabe? What is Rabe a nickname for? Raben? Raberius? What? What's up, Psyduck? Is the B silent? Ray? What? Rabe nickname. Phonetic nickname or wordplay for the vegetable broccoli. Raby. I literally don't know what that means. Rapini. Oh, Rob. 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 Okay. I get it. All right. Let's do this quick. That is seriously stupid. All right. Does Samantha know? Serere. Samantha doesn't know. That's not a real word. That's a fake word. Serif is a real word, though. Name, date. Serious. Good. What? Whatever. Desert. Dessert. Damn. Food. Eat. Yum. Masticate. Swallow. Taste. Lick. Ice. Flood. Dam. Plate. Serve. Serve. Service. Server. Drink. Mineral. Buffet. Buffet. Produce. Food. Table. Waiting. Restaurant. Broccoli. Oh, I spelled it right. Good for me. Spell. Food. What about drink? Wait, try that. Vegetable. Cocktail. Virgin. Crush. Rob. Rob. Alcohol. Rob. Drunk. Liter. Pint. Bar. No. How about liquor? Aha! Wait. Liquid. Methanol. Chemistry. Menu. Meat. Steak. What about some wine? What about a glass? Drink we tried. Spill. Not spill. We're still cold. Cold. Hot. Do. Get. Go. Sober. Clash. Near. Maybe we just try random things. Light. Evening. Morning. Day. Sun. Cloud. The earth. Planet. Weather. Rehab. Near. Seriously? Animal. Weekend. Dog. Button. Obese. Traitor. Add. Party. Distill. Prohibition. Huh. Moonshine. Moonshit. I wrote moonshit. Ferment. Sake. Match. Fire. Sleep. Wake. Copper. Headache. Hangover. Bottle. Poison. Bliss. Problem. Soup. Proof. Behavior. Anger. Issues. Drive. Life. Death. Cream. Poisoning. That's very far away. Okay. Liquor. Legal. Oh, how'd you know? Legal. Lawyer. Law. Prison. Print. Judge. Caught. Limit. Holding. Jail. Cell. Fee. Influence. Arrest. Matter. Representation. Attorney. Jury. Bail. The judge we tried. Tax. Crime. Tax. Taxes. Refund. Almost tax time, isn't it? Tariff. Guilty. Tax fee hike. Interest. Theft. Finance. Yeah, good job. We got it. Job Losh. Wait, I can't go. I can't close the. Oh. Governments. I mean, what would be the nearest words here? Financing, treasury, banking, financial, corporate. All right. Time. Good. That's the time. Download in 2 easy steps. 6 minutes? Hell yeah. We good. All right. Look at this. How about that? It's pretty good. I don't even have to read it. I bet it says senbei. Senbei. Yep. Oh yeah. Seaweed flavor. You just know it when you see the flakes of seaweed. Oh. Oh, look at that. The camera is so clear. Oh, fuck. Mm. It's a little tough. A little tough. Mm. Give me a second. I think it's been there for a while. I'm not gonna lie. Not as crunchy as it could have been. But you know, it's very seaweedy. You really taste the seaweed flavor. Not bad. Not bad. Give it a 6.9 out of 10. Seriously? So seriously. Alright, what about this? Oh yeah. I'll clean my mouth out with this. It says Castera. Castera? What is that? Oh, your first thought was 6.9? No. Castera. Castella. I can't. All right. Yum. Okay. Yeah. Looks good to me. Whoa! Woo! Okay. Oh, it's a piece of paper. Just a piece of paper. You know? A great thing to put in the food. How the paper tastes? You know, normal paper. Not too great. Not the best paper I've had. That is matcha. Pretty good. Not bad. That's a 7.5. Oh, pretty good. Could have been a 7.6 without the paper. Will go well with milk. Yeah, what about water? You think it would go well with water? Give me a second. Sucked up all the moisture in my mouth. Gotta have a drink of water. Oh yeah. Castella are the best snacks. Those are pretty good. Pretty good. All right. I should remember this paper next time. Sponsoring matcha cake people. Well, the Tokyo Treat people are already sponsoring me. It's related, right? All right, guys. All right, what happened last week? Now, it's before the Beggars Clan like Heroes Banquet. Young Guo hangs out with Guo Fu and the Wu brothers. Now, the two boys, we haven't seen them for a while, but looks like they're still simping after her, right? Now, on Guo Fu's part, she likes both of them, but she can't decide between the two. Can't decide between which brother she likes more. Doesn't know what she's going to choose because she wants to marry one of them. Now, they know that Hong Rong is teaching Elder Lu Youjiao the dog beating staff technique. So they want to, because she wants to hand over the leadership of the Beggars Clan to Lu Youjiao at the gathering today. So she's teaching him, and the four youngsters, they eavesdrop on the training to see how good it is. But they see that Lu Youjiao hasn't learned very much, so it's not that exciting. Young Guo, on the other hand, he hears Hong Rong recite the secret formulas of the staff technique, and he memorizes them. And remember, Hong Qigong had already taught him the actual moves, so now he knows both the moves and the formulas. So basically, he knows the secret staff technique. Hong Rong pauses the training, and she goes and talks to Guo Jing, and they discuss Guo Fu's marriage plans. And it turns out that Guo Jing wants to marry her to Yang Guo, which surprises everyone. The Wu brothers are definitely not happy. Hong Rong also has misgivings about the marriage, and they also learned that Guo Jing was sworn brother to Yang Guo's father, and we learned that he learns that his father has had some tragic death. We also learned that Hong Rong is pregnant. Now, after Guo Jing leaves, Hong Rong reveals that she knew the youngsters were watching all along, and she calls them down. She teaches them some martial arts. And then she teaches them a lesson about how martial arts relies on cleverness and trickery more than just like brute strength. Guo Fu and the Wu brothers, they leave, and Yang Guo is left with Hong Rong, and they have a nice little talk. And Hong Rong apologizes for her past coldness to him, and then she promises to treat him like her own from now on, which causes Yang Guo to cry. Hong Rong feels a little bit sick or ill because of her pregnancy, and Yang Guo uses his like Jade Maiden Heart Sutra energy to stabilize her, which she feels it and she feels pretty good about it. Yeah, I don't know. Whenever a character has a change of heart like this to the main character, I feel like they're gonna die pretty soon. I don't know. I feel like her days are numbered, guys. Now, at the Beggar Clan gathering, Lu Youjiao gets spit on. I mean, he becomes the new chief of the Beggar Clan, and he goes through that traditional spitting ceremony where everyone spits on him. During the party, a beggar says that he saw Hong Qigong alive, which causes the clan to cheer. Yang Guo immediately knows that he's lying because he saw Hong Qigong die. But he keeps the news to himself because he doesn't want to avoid he wants to avoid ruining the moment. The beggar says that Hong Qigong wants them to stick to like maintain loyalty and righteousness and unite against the Mongols. Okay, and he also says even though the Song court is corrupt, that's what he mentions. I don't know what the point of that was, but there's probably some point in that. Afterwards, the heroes banquet starts, and that's what happened. How's that? Does Tokyo Treat come with a booklet about the snacks? It does come with a booklet. Sakurako also comes with a booklet. Yeah, it has like a little description of it, maybe some history about the snacks. It has the ingredients and it has like allergy information, stuff like that, and other stuff in the booklet. Did I tell them not to send anything with banana? I can't tell them what to send. They just send me whatever is the box for the month. They send me 2 boxes, Tokyo Treat and Sakurako, every month. Oh, I'm drowning in snacks. I'm guessing most of these are months old, so I wouldn't know where to look for the booklets. Yep, don't know which booklet. I don't have the booklets. Maybe not lying, but saw before he died. You think the beggar? I feel like the beggar's lying. I think there was some indication in the last chapter that the beggar was lying. He's onto something, I think. I think we're going to be hearing from him in this chapter. All right. I think there was a piece of evidence that came after. Yeah, there was something. All right, you ready? Chapter 12, Part 2. All right, so they're at the Heroes Banquet. Guo Jing and Huang Rong sat with the principal guests in the main hall. Huang Rong arranged Young Guo's seat close beside her, while Guo Fu and the Wu brothers sat much farther away. At first, Guo Fu was puzzled. He doesn't know martial arts. Why did mother seat him so well? Suddenly, a chilling thought struck her. Oh no! Father said he wanted to betroth me to him. Could mother have agreed? The more she thought, the more frightened she became. She remembered how mother had walked holding Young Guo's hand, her manner affectionate. Her parents always respected each other. If father insisted, mother would not refuse. She glanced sidelong at Young Guo, fearful, angry. How can I marry that little beggar? Tears welled in her eyes. So mean. Just then, Wu Shiwen said, Sister Fu, look, that young fellow is sitting here too. What kind of hero is he supposed to be? Guo Fu snapped, If you have the ability, go drive him away. The Wu brothers had originally only looked down on young Guo, but after hearing Guo Jing say he might become Guo Fu's future husband, hostility had grown in their hearts. Hearing Guo Fu's words, Wu Shiwen thought, why not humiliate him in front of everyone? If he embarrasses himself before all these heroes, Master's wife would never accept him as a son-in-law. He had just learned Yi Yang Finger from his elders and wished to try it. You can learn it that quick? He said, Since he's pretending to be a hero, let him show some style. He stood, filled 2 cups with wine, walked to Young Guo's side, and said, Brother Young, you must have been quite pleased with yourself these past years. I offer you a drink. When Young Guo saw Wu Shiwen approaching, he noticed the young man's gaze sliding repeatedly toward Guo Fu, a sly, ill-intentioned look on his face. Why is he so bad at lying? He's coming to offer wine. There must be some trick in it. But he wouldn't dare poison me in front of everyone. He rose, accepted the cup, and said, "Many thanks," then drained it in one gulp. At that instant, Wu Xiuwen suddenly thrust out his right index finger toward Yang Guo's waist. Using his body to block others' view, he jabbed at the laughing waist point. His senior uncle had told him that if one used the Yi-Yang finger to strike that point, the victim would burst into uncontrollable laughter, unable to stop. Oh, I need that trick. But young Guo had been fully on guard. How could he fall for such a petty ambush? Even had the strike come completely unforeseen, with his current skills, he would not have been taken in. Normally, with his unwillingness to suffer even the slightest loss, he would have retaliated fiercely, throwing Wu Xiuwen to the ground, or returning a jab to his laughing waist point. But after his earlier conversation with Huang Rong, his mood was light and peaceful. "You may dislike me, but you're still Uncle Guo and Auntie's disciple. I won't stoop to quarrel with you today." He secretly circulated the internal strength Ouyang Feng had taught him. In an instant, all the meridians in his body reversed, shifting the locations of his acupoints. What, is he going to cry now? Though he was not upside down, as the technique was meant to be practiced, and his mastery was shallow, he could maintain the reversal for a single breath before it returned to normal, after which he would need to circulate his qi again to repeat it. Even that brief moment was enough to render Wu Xiuwen's jab entirely useless. After striking, Wu Xiuwen saw Yang Guo merely smile faintly and sit down without the slightest reaction. Bewildered, he returned to his seat and murmured, "Brother, why didn't Uncle's technique work?" Wu Dunru said, "What do you mean, didn't work?" Wu Xiuwen explained the incident. Wu Dunru snorted. "You must have jabbed wrong, or misjudged the acupoint." "How could I be wrong? Look!" Wu Xiuwen raised his hand and made a mock jab at his brother's waist, posture and force exactly as taught by their uncle. Guo Fu pursed her lips. "So, this is the mighty Yi-Yang finger? Doesn't seem all that impressive." Knowing the Wu brothers were learning the technique while she had not, even though they would surely teach her in the future, she still felt displeased. Wu Dunru suddenly stood, poured 2 cups of wine, and walked over to Yang Guo. "Brother Yang, we haven't seen each other in years. Now that we meet again, let me offer you a cup." Yang Guo laughed inwardly. "Your younger brother has already shown his hand. Let's see what tricks the elder one has." He held a large piece of beef with his chopsticks, didn't set it down, accepted the cup with his left hand, and said with a smile, "My thanks." Wu Dunru made no attempt to hide his intent. His right arm flashed out, sleeve stirring the air as he jabbed fiercely at Yang Guo's waist. Seeing the force of the strike, Yang Guo knew his limited skill in reversing his meridians might not withstand it. He immediately abandoned the technique, let his arm drop, and placed the large piece of beef right over his laughing waist point. His move was faster than the strike. Wu Dunru noticed nothing and jabbed squarely into the beef. Yang Guo set down his chopsticks and said, smiling, "Nothing better than a bite of beef after a cup of wine." Wu Dunru lifted his hand and found a huge slab of beef dangling from his fingers, juices dripping. Holding it was awkward. Throwing it away seemed even more humiliating. Flustered, he shot Yang Guo a fierce glare and returned to his seat. Did he return with the piece of meat still on his fingers? He did. Guo Fu saw him clutching a giant chunk of beef and asked in surprise, "What's that?" Wu Dunru's face flushed crimson. Unable to answer, he fumbled in embarrassment. Just then, the beggar clan's newly appointed chief, Lu Youjiao, rose with a cup of wine in hand. He raised the cup toward the assembled heroes and said loudly, "Our former Chief Hong has sent word that the Mongols press south with growing urgency. He commands our beggar clan to exert every effort to resist the invaders. Yeah, there's some plan here, right? Some scheme. Or no. Now that heroes from all under heaven are gathered here, each with loyalty and righteousness in his heart, we must devise a stratagem that will keep the Mongol Tartars from violating our great song again. As he finished, the heroes rose to their feet. Voices rang out in agreement. Most who had come to today's banquet were hot-blooded men. Seeing the nation's peril deepen day by day, they had long been anxious. With someone finally voicing the matter, the loyal and valorous responded at once. A silver-bearded elder rose to his feet, his voice booming like a great bell. As the saying goes, a snake cannot move without a head. Though we all have loyalty and righteousness in our hearts, without a leader, nothing great can be accomplished. Since the heroes are gathered here today, let us choose a man of virtue and prestige, one whom all admire, to lead us. We shall follow his commands together. The crowd burst into cheers. Several people called out at once, You should be the leader. No need to choose anyone else. The elder laughed heartily. Ha 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 ha. What sort of thing am I, this smelly old man? In the martial world, the true leaders have always been the Eastern Heretic, Western Venom, Southern Emperor, the Northern Beggar, and the Central Divinity. Perfected Master Chongyang of the Central Divinity has transcended this world for many years. The Eastern Heretic, Master Huang, comes and goes alone. The Western Venom is not one of our kind. The Southern Emperor dwells far away in Dali, not a subject of our great song. Naturally, the only one fit to be hero's chief is the Northern Beggar, Senior Hong. Hong Qigong was the highest pillar of the martial world. Indeed, he was the natural choice. Applause broke out from all sides, without a single objection. Someone within the crowd said, Of course, Elder Hong may serve as chief of the heroes. Aside from him, who else has the skill to command all, the virtue to win every heart? His voice was loud, yet no one could see who had spoken, for the speaker was so short he was hidden behind others. Someone asked, Who said that? The short man leapt up and stood on a table. He was less than 3 feet tall. Oh my god. That's shorter than me. 3 feet tall. Already past 40, his face sharp and fierce. Some recognized him as Lei Meng, the short lion of Jiangxi. The crowd was about to laugh, but the commanding glare in his eyes made them swallow their chuckles. He said, But Elder Hong comes and goes like a phantom. In 10 years he may show himself only once. If great matters arise, like resisting the enemy, and we cannot find him to seek his orders, what then? The crowd thought, That is true enough. Lei Meng continued, What we do today is for the country, with not a trace of selfish intent. Let us elect a deputy chief. When Elder Hong is wandering the world, we shall follow the deputy's commands. Lin is 4'1". Yeah, way taller than this guy. Cheers erupted. Someone shouted, Guo Jing! Hero Guo! Another cried, Chief Lu is best. A voice said, Former Chief Huang of the Beggar Clan is wise and resourceful, and he is Elder Hong's disciple. I nominate Chief Huang. Another said, What about Master Lu, our host? Still others called, The Zhongshan sect's leader Ma, perfected Qiu, The eternal spring master! The hall was filled with clamor. Amid the uproar, 4 Taoists strode in quickly into the hall. They were Hao Da-tong, Sun Bu-er, Zhao Jijing, and Yin Ji-ping. Seeing them return, Yang Guo thought, back for another quarrel? Guo Jing and Lu Guanying were delighted and hurried to meet them. The Chenjin sect was famed as the orthodox pinnacle of martial arts. Without their presence, the heroes' banquet would certainly seem lacking. Hao Da-tong whispered into Guo Jing's ear, "An enemy is coming to cause trouble. You must be on guard." We rushed back to report. Guo Jing thought that this elder, known as Guanningji, was among the top experts of the sect, surpassed by few in the martial world. His voice trembled faintly. This foe must be fearsome. Guo Jing whispered, "O Yangfeng?" Hao Da-tong replied, "No, the Mongol who defeated me before." Uh-oh. Guo Jing relaxed slightly and nodded. "Prince Huodo?" That is very hard to pronounce, guys. Huodo. Before Hao Da-tong could answer, horns blared outside the main gate, followed by the irregular clanking of cymbals. Lu Guanying called, "Welcome, the honored guests." As soon as he spoke, several dozen figures of varying heights stood before the hall. The heroes inside had been drinking and cheering. Seeing so many strangers enter at once, they were surprised, though they assumed these were guests come for the banquet. Finding no familiar faces among them, they thought little of it. Guo Jing quietly repeated Hao Da-tong's warning to Huang Rong, then rose with her. Together with Lu Guanying and his wife, they went out to greet the newcomers. Guo Jing recognized the refined, aristocratic young man as the Mongol prince Huodo, and the gaunt Tibetan monk as his senior brother, Darba. He had met them both at Chongyang Palace on Mount Zhongnan. Though first-rate fighters, they were inferior to him, so he felt no fear. The two stood apart, and between them was an exceptionally tall, extremely thin Tibetan monk in a red robe, his body like a bamboo pole, the center of his forehead sunken as if pressed inward like a shallow fish. Whoa! It's pressed inwards. Got punched pretty hard there. Guo Jing and Huang Rong exchanged a glance. They had once heard Huang Yaoxi speak of the strange skills of Tibetan esoteric Buddhism, saying that when cultivated to the highest realm, the crown of the head would sink slightly. Really? This man's skull was deeply sunken. Could his martial arts truly be that unfathomable? I can call him Huodu. Okay. Huodu. Gotcha. Can I call him Hodo? Can I call him Hodor? Why had the martial world never heard of such a master from Tibet? The two grew wary in secret and bowed. Guo Jing said, "You have come from afar. Please, take your seats and have a few cups." Since he knew they were enemies, he did not mouth empty words of welcome. Lu Guanying ordered the servants to open a new table and set out fresh cups and dishes. The Wu brothers had been helping their master and mistress with all arrangements. Wu Shiwen, in particular, was quick-handed and capable. The two directed the servants to rearrange the most honored seats, apologizing as they asked the guests to shift. Guo Fu saw young Guo sitting calmly, not moving at all, and found it extremely displeasing. "What sort of hero are you? Even if every hero in the world died, it still wouldn't be your turn." She signaled Wu Shiwen with her eyes and jerked her chin toward young Guo. What do you want him to do? Wu Shiwen understood. He walked to young Guo and said, "Brother Yang, please move your seat." Without waiting for assent, he directed servants to carry Young Guo's cup and chopsticks to a remote corner table. Anger rose in Young Guo's chest, but he only gave a cold, silent laugh. On the other side, Prince Huodu said to the tall, thin monk, "Master, allow me to present two famed heroes of the Central Plains." Guo Jing started. "So, he is the Mongol prince's master." The monk nodded, his eyes half opened, half closed. Huodu said, "This is Guo Jing, Hero Guo, who once served as marshal of the right wing in Mongolia's western expedition. This is Lady Guo, the chief of the beggar clan." At the words, "marshal of the right wing," the monk's eyes opened wide. A sharp brilliance flashed across them as he swept a glance over Guo Jing's face, then lowered them again, seeming indifferent to the beggar clan's chief. Huodu raised his voice. "This is my revered master, the holy monk of Tibet, honored by all as the Golden Wheel Dharma King. The Empress of Great Mongolia has invested him as the foremost protector of the nation." His words rang loud and clear. Every hero present heard them plainly. The hall fell into stunned silence. Here we are discussing how to resist Mongolia's invasion, and a Mongol protector of the nation walks in? Young Guo stiffened. He remembered that atop Mount Hua, both his foster father and Hong Qigong had praised the formidable skills of the five freaks of Tibet, telling them to summon their grandmaster, the Golden Wheel Dharma King, for a contest. Now the Dharma King had come with Dharba, the master of the Tibetan five freaks, yet his foster father and Hong Qigong were no longer alive. Grief welled up in him, and he knew at once that this tall monk was no ordinary foe. Guo Jing was unsure how to deal with these men. He said only, "You have come from afar. Please drink." After 3 rounds of wine, Prince Huodu rose. He snapped open his folding fan, revealing a vivid peony painted upon it, and said loudly, "We did not receive your hero invitations today, yet we have come uninvited. Wanting to meet the worthy of the world, we set aside all concerns. A grand gathering like this is rare, with all the heroes of the land assembled. In this humble prince's view, we must elect a leader of heroes, a head of the martial world. What say you all?" "Uh-huh." The short lion, Lei Meng, shouted, "Well said! We have already chosen Elder Hong of the Beggar Clan as chief of the heroes, and are now electing a deputy. What advice have you, sir?" Okay, are they in cahoots? Totally in cahoots. Huodu sneered. "Hong Qigong has long since returned to the earth. Choosing a ghost as our chief, do you take us for corpses?" Oh, he knows! The hall exploded in outrage. The Beggar Clan members especially cried out in fury. Huodu said, "Very well. If Hong Qigong is not dead, let him come out and meet us." Lu Youjiao raised the dog-beating staff twice and said, "Elder Hong wanders the world with no fixed abode. You say meet, and he must appear." Huodu sneered again. Whether Hong Qigong lives or dies, who can say? Even if he were sitting here alive and well, how could his skill or reputation compare with that of my master, the Golden Wheel Dharma King? Heroes of the realm, hear me. In today's world, aside from the Golden Wheel Dharma King, no second man is fit to be chief. The heroes all understood his meaning at once. These men had come knowing the banquet would harm Mongolia's interests, so they intended to seize the position of alliance chief. If the Golden Wheel Dharma King claimed the title by force, The heroes of the Central Plains would never obey him, yet it would still weaken the Han people's resistance. Everyone knew Huang Rong was quick-witted, and all turned towards her. No matter how strong these few dozen men are, they can't stand against the thousands gathered here. Whether in single combat or a mass fight, we won't suffer defeat. We just need to follow Chief Hong's command. Huang Rong knew that a peaceful resolution was impossible. A mass fight would mean certain victory, but the enemy would never concede. She said clearly, "The heroes here have already elected Elder Hong as chief. Yet this Mongol warrior interrupts, seeking to elevate a golden wheel Dharma king whom none present has heard of or met. Had Elder Hong been here, he and the Dharma king could display their skills and determine the victor. But he wanders the world, slaying Mongol invaders and traitorous lackeys wherever he finds them. None expected you to arrive today, and he could not be here to welcome you. When he hears of this, he will surely regret missing the chance. Fortunately, both Elder Hong and the Dharma King have left disciples. Why not let the disciples compete on behalf of their masters?" Most heroes of the Central Plains knew Guo Jing's martial arts were astonishing, and that he was in his prime, very likely unmatched in the world. Even Hong Qigong himself might not surpass him now. To pit him against the Dharma King's disciple was a sure win, beyond doubt. The crowd erupted in cheers that shook the rafters. Those dining in side halls rushed over, filling corridors, courtyard, and doorways, shouting in support. The Dharma King's side was small in number, and their presence far weaker. Years ago at Chongyang Palace, Huo Du had been defeated by Guo Jing in a single move. Then he had mistaken him for a Chen disciple, but later learned his true identity. He knew his senior brother, Daerba, was about equal to himself. Even together, they were unlikely to match Guo Jing, disciple of Hong Qigong. But if they refused Hong Rong's proposal, they had no chance of seizing the alliance leadership. This unexpected turn left them unsettled and unprepared. But they weren't prepared for that? The Golden Wheel Dharma King said, "No. Very well. Huo Du, go down and compete with the disciple of Hong Qigong." His voice was thick and heavy, spoken in one long breath without pause. Having lived in Tibet, he believed Huo Du's skills would be unmatched in the Central Plains, save for a few elders like the Northern Beggar, Eastern Heretic, or Western Venom, and did not know his disciple had been defeated by Guo Jing. He didn't know? Huo Du answered, then whispered, "Master, that old Hong's disciple is formidable. I fear I may lose and shame your prestige." The Dharma King's face darkened. He snorted. "Can't even best a mere disciple? Get down there." Huo Du flushed in embarrassment. He had concealed his defeat from his master and dared not confess it now. He had imagined that with the Dharma King's unmatched might, the Alliance chief title would fall into their hands without effort. Who would have expected that he would be asked to fight Guo Jing? As he fretted, a fat Mongol officer approached and murmured a few words in his ear. Huo Du brightened instantly. Rising, he flipped open his fan and swept it gracefully, then said loudly, "I have long heard that the beggar clan's treasured skill, the dog-beating staff technique, is Elder Hong's greatest mastery. This humble prince shall attempt to break it with my fan. If I succeed, then it seems Elder Hong's vaunted skill is nothing remarkable after all." At first, Huang Rong paid no attention when she saw someone whispering in Ho Du's ear. But when he mentioned the dog beating staff technique, using only a few words to set aside the strongest fighter, Guo Jing, she instantly wondered who had suggested such a clever idea. She looked toward the Mongol and immediately understood. The man was Elder Peng of the Beggar Clan, one of the 4 great elders. The traitor! He had defected to the Mongols, now dressed in Mongol garb with a thick, bushy beard and a hat pulled low over his eyes. Without close attention, he was nearly unrecognizable. Only he would know that the dog-beating staff technique was reserved for the Beggar Clan chief alone. Despite his great skill, Guo Jing had never learned it. Huo Du's words were a clear challenge aimed at her and Liu Youjiao. Liu Youjiao's staff technique was new and shallow. He could not use it. Then only she could step forward. Guo Jing knew his wife's dog-beating staff technique was unmatched, enough to defeat Huo Du. But in these months, her pregnancy had just begun, her inner breath unsettled. She could not fight. So he stepped from his seat again and said, Elder Hong never used the dog-beating staff lightly. You may test yourself against his 18 dragon-subduing palms instead. The golden wheel Dharma King's eyes remained half-closed. Yet, when Guo Jing took a single step forward, towering and immovable as a mountain, his presence extraordinary, the Dharma King was secretly startled. This man is truly remarkable. Huo Du laughed and said, At Chongyang Palace we met once. That day you claimed to be a disciple of Ma Yu and Qiu Chu Qi of the Chenjin sect. How is it you now pretend to be Hong Qigong's disciple? Guo Jing was about to reply, but Huo Du hurried on. One man taking several masters is not unheard of, but today it is the Dharma King and Elder Hong who vie in skill. Your prowess is great, yet you have learned from many. You cannot display the true art of Elder Hong. This argument held some logic, and Guo Jing, never skilled with words, found himself momentarily unable to refute it. The heroes roared with anger. If you've got guts, face Hero Guo. If you don't, tuck your tail and crawl away. Hero Guo is a disciple of Elder Hong. If he can't stand in, who can? Take a taste of the dragon-subduing palms first. Try the dog-beating staff later. Is this when young Guo steps in? Yep. Hell yeah. He'll destroy him. Oh shit, what if he destroys him and then Guo Fu falls for him? Ah, that's when she enters the harem. Huo Du threw back his head and laughed. As he laughed, he sent his internal strength surging. Drowning out the voices of the crowd. The candles throughout the hall trembled violently. The heroes exchanged looks of alarm. Who knew this pampered-looking young prince possessed such fierce inner power? Silence fell at once. Huo Du said loudly to the Dharma King, Master, we have been wronged. We came 1,000 miles thinking the heroes of the world would gather here. Who knew they would all be cowards afraid of death? Let us go. If you were to become leader of such rabble, the world would say you were chief among wine sacks and rice bags. Would that not stain your great name? Everyone knew he was deliberately goading them, hoping to provoke Huang Rong into fighting. But his arrogance was intolerable. Amid the shouts and curses, Liu Youjiao swung his bamboo staff and strode into the open area. Oh no! I'm gonna lose. I am Liu Youjiao, the newly appointed chief of the Beggar Clan. I have learned less than 1/10 of the dog-beating staff technique and should not use it. But since you insist on tasting a beating, I will grant you a few strikes. Lu Youjiao's martial arts were already strong. Though he had not yet mastered the staff technique, it had greatly reinforced his original skills. Seeing Huo Du still in his early 30s, Lu reasoned that no matter the master he served, his inner power could not be deep. Knowing Hongrong's condition, he could not let her take the risk. Win or lose, he had to stand in her place. Huo Du feared only fighting Guo Jing. Anyone else he held lightly. He clasped his hands and said, "Chief Lu, a pleasure. None better to receive instruction from than you." Hongrong worried inwardly, but since Lu Youjiao had spoken up as chief, she could not stop him without undermining his authority, and implying she still held power over the clan. She could only let him fight first. The Lu household's steward directed the servants to clear away the tables, opening a space the size of 7 or 8 tables in the center of the hall, then added more red candles until the whole area shone brightly as day. That's a lot of candles. Huo Du called out, now it's back to Huo Du, called out, "Please!" The word had barely left his lips when his fan swept forward, sending a gust of wind straight at Lu Youjiao's face, carrying a faint, strange fragrance. Fearing poison in the breeze, Lu Youjiao quickly dodged to the side. Huo Du flicked his fan with a sharp crack. It folded into an 8-inch acupoint rod that shot toward Lu Youjiao's ribs. Lu Youjiao raised his bamboo staff, ignoring the acupoint strike, and used the entangling move to hook and lift. The dog-beating staff technique was truly ingenious. Its attacks came from angles no one could predict. Huo Du leapt back, but the bamboo staff suddenly flipped, striking his shin. He stumbled 3 steps before barely regaining his balance. The onlookers burst into cheers. "Hit the dog! Let him taste the dog-beating staff!" Oh man, it's super humiliating to be beat by the dog-beating staff. Stung by the setback, Huo Du flushed crimson and spun lightly, sweeping out with his left palm. Lu Youjiao kicked up his left foot and swept his bamboo staff. Instantly, staff shadows danced wildly in unpredictable patterns. Huo Du was secretly alarmed. "So, the dog-beating staff lives up to its name." He focused every ounce of strength, fan in his right hand, palm in his left. Yet Lu Youjiao had never learned the full art. Several times he nearly succeeded, only to fall short. Watching from the side, Guo Jing and Hongrong kept thinking, "What a pity!" After another dozen exchanges, the flaws in Lu Youjiao's technique grew more obvious. Young Guo saw each move clearly and frowned. Fortunately, the dog-beating staff had seized the initiative by striking Huo Du's ankle early on, leaving him wary and hesitant to close in. Otherwise, Lu Youjiao would already have lost. Hongrong saw danger mounting and was about to call him down when Lu Youjiao suddenly used slanting strike on the dog's back, the staff flicking sideways to smack Huo Du across the left cheek. But the strike was too heavy, lacking finesse. Shamed and enraged, Huo Du grabbed the bamboo staff and wrenched it from his hands. With no more hesitation, he struck Lu Youjiao square in the chest, followed by a sweeping kick. With a crack, Lu Youjiao's leg bone snapped. He spat a mouthful of blood and collapsed forward. 2 7-pouch disciples rushed to support him. The gathered heroes roared with fury, cursing Huo Du's viciousness. Holding the emerald green bamboo staff across both hands, Huo Du smirked. "So, this dog-beating staff, the priceless treasure of the beggar clan, is nothing much after all." Deliberately insulting the great righteous sect of the Central Plains, he gripped both ends of the staff, ready to snap it in 2. Suddenly, a green shadow flashed. A graceful young woman stood before him and said, "Wait." It was Hongrong. Oh no. Huo Du was startled by her speed. You was all he managed before Hongrong flicked her left hand and reached for his eyes with her right. As he moved to block, she deftly plucked the bamboo staff from his grip. This staff-snatching move, called Hero's Bite seizing the staff, was among the highest skills of the dog-beating staff technique. Years ago, at the Beggar Clan gathering on Junshen by Dongting Lake, Hongrong had used this very move to seize the staff 3 times from Yang Kang's hands. It was unpredictable and flawless. No matter how strong the opponent, none could evade it. Cheers erupted from all around. Hongrong returned to her seat and leaned the bamboo staff at her side, leaving Ho Du standing there in utter embarrassment. Though skilled in martial arts, he could not understand how she had taken the staff. Could this woman know illusions? Hearing the crowd jeer and seeing his master's face darken, he assumed this beautiful young woman's true ability must be limited. He raised his voice. "Chief Huang, I've returned your staff. Now come down and face me. Surely you're not afraid." His words fooled some into thinking he had willingly handed the staff back to request a duel. Only the truly skilled had seen that Hongrong had forcibly taken it. Guo Fu was furious. Never in her life had anyone dared speak so rudely to her mother. With a sharp hiss, she drew her sword. Wu Shiwen said, "Sister Fu, let me vent your anger." Wu Dunru thought the same. The two of them leapt into the hall together. One said, "My master's wife is a lady of honor." The other said, "How could she sully herself fighting a barbarian like you?" The first continued, "Face me first if you want a match." Ho Du saw that the two were young yet steady in stance, clearly trained by a skilled master. He thought, "We came today to flaunt our might and dampen the prestige of Han martial artists. More fights would only help, but they outnumber us. If this turns into a brawl, things could get troublesome." So he said, "Heroes of the realm, please hear me. These 2 youngsters want to challenge me. If I strike, people may say I bully the young. If I refuse, it will seem I fear children. Let us settle it this way. 3 matches. Whichever side wins, 2 shall claim the position of Alliance Chief. My earlier bout with Chief Lu will not be counted. We start anew." They really didn't think it through. They just walked in without any plans. "Will everyone agree?" His words were dignified and generous. Guojing, Hongrong, and the honored guests conferred quietly. The proposal was difficult to refuse. Among those present, aside from Hongrong, who could not take the field, the strongest were Guojing, Hao Datong, and the 4th disciple of Reverend Yi Deng, the scholarly Zhuji Liu. Though Zhuji Liu was from Dali and not the Song, Dali and the Song were closely bound, and Mongol pressure had threatened Dali as well. They shared a common enemy. Moreover, he was a close friend to the Guo couple, so he would not decline. They decided Zhu Ziliu would face Ho Du in the first match, Hao Datong would take the second against Daerba, Guojing would anchor the third against the Golden Wheel monk. Whether this formation could prevail was uncertain. If the monk's skill was truly exceptional and even Guojing could not withstand him, they might lose all 3 rounds, a disastrous outcome. Now, what they should have done was pit the weakest fighter against the Golden Wheel monk and have Guojing and some other guy fight the other 2. Because Guojing is definitely going to win his match, right? Before the matter was settled, Hongrong suddenly said, Well, you're smarter than Hong Rong. Well, I mean, logically, that's what you should have done. But then maybe they don't want to lose face because people would say that they're being sneaky and not honorable. Hong Rong suddenly said, "I have a way to guarantee victory." Guo Jing brightened and was about to ask when the sound of steel slicing air filled the hall. Everyone turned to see the Wu brothers, swords drawn, already fighting Huo Du and his fan. Guo Jing, Hong Rong, the Reverend Yidang's disciples, Dian Tang fisherman, and Zhu Zi Liu watched closely, worried for the boys. The Wu brothers had been enraged when Prince Huo Du insulted them as thinking little brats, especially in front of the girl they admired. And having just seen their teacher's wife snatch the bamboo staff so easily, they thought Lu Youjiao had simply been incompetent. Surely this man wasn't so formidable. Why are they so dumb? They believed that having learned true skills from their master, one might not defeat him alone, but together victory was assured. Without caring about any three-match agreement, the two exchanged a glance and attacked with twin swords. But though Guo Jing's skill was profound, he was not gifted at teaching. He grasped the essence of high-level martial arts instinctively, yet his explanations were vague. The Wu brothers, of mediocre aptitude, had learned only so much in a few short years. Within several moves, their swords were completely suppressed by Huo Du. They could not unfold their techniques at all. Intent on displaying his prowess before the heroes, Huo Du met Wu Xiwen's thrust. He lifted the flat of the blade with his left index finger, flicked his fan sideways, and struck the sword at the waist. With a metallic snap, it broke in two. Startled, Wu Xiwen leapt back. Fearing for his brother's safety, Wu Dunru stabbed straight toward Huo Du's back to prevent pursuit. Huo Du had anticipated this. Without turning his head, he swept his folding fan back. The fan met the sword's spine. His fingers spun twice. If Wu Dunru forced the blade to follow the fan's rotation, his shoulder would dislocate. He had to release the sword and leap away. The sword spun upward, flashing in the candlelight before falling. Shocked and furious, the Wu brothers stood empty-handed, yet unafraid. Wu Dunru raised his left palm, forming the stance of the 18 dragons subduing palms. Oh. Wu Xiwen lowered his right hand, index finger slightly bent, ready to counter with the Yi-Yang finger. Seeing their solemn postures, Huo Du dared not take them lightly. "I've shown enough. No need to push further and make trouble," he thought. The 18 dragon subduing palms and Yi-Yang finger were both top-tier arts. Though the brothers' strength was shallow, their forms were correct. Ordinary people might not notice, but an expert like Huo Du recognized their power. Laughing, he cupped his hands. "Ha ha ha! Please stand down, both of you. We compete for victory, not life and death." His tone had grown considerably more polite. Shame burned on the faces of the Wu brothers. They knew that fighting empty-handed would only lead to an even worse defeat. Heads drooping, they retreated to the side. But not to Guo Fu's side. Guo Fu hurried over and called out loudly, "Brothers Wu, let the three of us go up together and fight him again." All eyes turned toward her. Sword in her right hand, she swept her left and shouted, "We three disciples will take you on together." Guo Jing barked, "Fu, don't make trouble." Terrified of her father, Guo Fu stepped back several paces, pouting angrily at Huo Du. Huo Du, charmed by her beauty. Wait, how old is he? In his 40s? In his 30s? In his 30s? Huo Du, charmed by her beauty, nodded with a smile. Guo Fu glared and turned away. The Wu brothers had feared her scorn, but seeing her stand firmly by them warmed their hearts. They felt assured she cared. Hordu opened his fan and waved it lazily. This bout, naturally, doesn't count. Hero Guo, Hour 3, my master, my senior brother, and myself. My skill is the weakest, so I'll take the first round. Who among you will come down to instruct me? Win or lose, this is no child's game. All right. Before we start the bout, time for a break. Be right back. 5 minutes. And we're back. Yep, that was for you, Wing Chun. That was the 1983 Return of the Condor Heroes theme song. I saw the video of the theme song, or the opening on YouTube, and I saw the guy in the giant condor suit. I see what you're talking about now. Some funny stuff. Hey. Let me show. What is this? There's a giant condor. All right, well, I can't wait to get to that scene. Oh, thank me, no. Thank Losh. She sent me the link to the video. All right. Let's get this battle started. How strong is this Dharma King guy anyway? Guojing trusted his wife's promise of a sure win plan. Though he didn't know her strategy, he knew her ingenuity was boundless. Confident, he declared, "Good. We'll settle it in 3 matches." Hordu knew Guojing was their strongest. His own master was invincible. Victory over Guojing was assured. As for Hongrong, despite her odd staff-snatching trick, she looked so delicate that in true combat she likely wouldn't be formidable. The rest were hardly worth mentioning. He swept his gaze across the hall. If anyone objects, speak now. Once the matches are decided, they all must obey the Alliance chief. The heroes wanted to agree, but after seeing him effortlessly defeat Liu Youjiao and the Wu brothers, none knew how much strength he still kept hidden. No one dared answer. They all looked to the Guo couple. Hongrong said, "You fight the first match. Your senior brother fights the second. Your master fights the third. That is fixed, yes?" Hordu said, "Exactly so," Hongrong whispered to those beside her. "Victory is certain." Guojing asked, "How?" Hongrong murmured. "Use our lower horse against their upper." Ah? Huh? Exactly my plan. She looked at Zhu Jiliu. He smiled and continued softly. Use our upper horse against their middle. Use our middle horse against their lower. Thus, though losing once, we win twice, as Tianji did to win the king's 1,000 gold. Guojing stared blankly, unable to follow what they were saying. Huangrong whispered in his ear. You've mastered the art of war. How could you forget Master Sun's clever stratagem? Guojing suddenly remembered the story Huangrong had once told him while he studied the Wu Mu legacy. General Tianji of Qi raced horses with the king of Qi for 1,000 gold. On Sun Bin's advice, he used his inferior horse against the king's best, his best against the king's middle, his middle against the king's worst, winning two out of 3 and taking the prize. Huangrong was now borrowing this old strategy. Huangrong said, Senior Brother Chu, with your Yi-Yang finger, defeating this Mongol prince won't be difficult. Zhu Ziliu had once ranked first in the imperial examinations of Dali and served as prime minister, truly a man of learning and exceptional talent. The Dali Duan family's martial arts relied heavily on comprehension. When Zhu first entered Reverend Yi Deng's tutelage, he ranked last of the 4 disciples, a fisherman, woodcutter, farmer, and scholar. 10 years later, he had risen to 2nd place, and now his skill had surpassed all 3 of his senior brothers. Reverend Yi Deng taught all 4 disciples without reservation, but Zhu Ziliu had absorbed the most. His Yi-Yang finger, in particular, had reached uncanny mastery. Though still below Guojing, Ma Yu, and Qiu Chu Qi, he had already surpassed Wang Chuyi and Hao Datong. Hearing Huangrong's words, Guojing added immediately, If Priest Hao is to face the Golden Wheel monk, that will be extremely dangerous. The outcome doesn't matter, but I fear the enemy may strike too ruthlessly for him to withstand. His blunt nature forgot entirely that this placed himself as the upper horse and relegated Hao Datong to the lower, an unintentional rudeness. Well, we all know. Everyone knows. The Wu brothers flushed with shame. They knew that fighting him empty-handed would only lead to an... Wait. Okay. Don't know what happened there. All right. Hao Datong understood well that this contest concerned the fate of the nation, far beyond ordinary struggles for fame among the martial world. If the Mongol state preceptor seized the position of alliance chief, the Han warriors would not only lose face, their morale would fracture, making it difficult to unite against the enemy. At once he said resolutely, This need not concern you. If it benefits the country, even if this old Taoist dies under the hands of Tibetan monks, it means nothing. Huangrong said, As long as we win the first 2 matches, the third need not be fought. Guojing was overjoyed and agreed repeatedly. Zhu Ziliu smiled. If I cannot defeat this Mongol prince, I will be shamed before all heroes forever. Huangrong replied, No need for modesty. Please step forward. Zhu Ziliu walked to the center of the hall and saluted Huo Du. I will face you in the first match. My name is Zhu Ziliu. I spend my days composing poetry, chanting sutras, and reading the Book of Changes. My martial skill is coarse and shallow. Please offer your instruction. He gave a deep bow, then drew a writing brush from his sleeve and traced a few airy circles, looking very bit the pedantic scholar. Huo Du thought, The more like this he seems, the deeper his skill. I must not underestimate him. He clasped his fist politely. I shall seek guidance from the elder. Please, show your weapon. Zhu Ziliu said, Mongolia is a land of barbarians, untempered by the teachings of the sages. Since you ask for instruction, I will naturally enlighten you. Pordu bristled in anger. You insult Mongolia. I cannot spare you. He snapped open his fan. This is my weapon. Will you use saber or sword? Zhu Ziliu wrote the character for brush in the air and smiled. All my life I have accompanied the brush. What other weapon would I use? Huodu examined the brush, a simple bamboo tube with a sheep hair tip, stained half an inch with ink. It was nothing like the steel acupoint pens used in the martial world. He was about to ask when a white-clad maiden entered. She paused at the doorway, her gaze drifting across the hall as though searching for someone. All eyes had been fixed on Zhu Ziliu and Huodu, but the moment she appeared, every head turned. Her face was pale, almost sickly. Even in the warm glow of the candles, there was no trace of color. Her beauty was pure and ethereal beyond compare. People often used the words as beautiful as an immortal, but no one truly knew what an immortal looked like. Yet, upon seeing this girl, those very words rose unbidden in every heart. She seemed veiled in a faint mist, half real, half dream, hardly a being of the mortal world. The instant Yang Guo saw her, joy struck him like a heavy iron hammer to the chest. He leapt from the corner, seized her in his arms, and cried out, Auntie! Auntie! People were very confused. The girl was Xiaolong Nu. After parting from Yang Guo, she had wandered in the wilderness, then swum back into the ancient tomb. She had lived there 18 years. Her heart was as still as water, free of ripples. But after meeting Yang Guo and enduring such trials, it was impossible to return to that former calm. When she meditated on the cold jade bed, she thought of him having slept there. When she ate at the table, she recalled meals shared with him. In moments, her mind grew restless and disturbed, unable to continue her training. After more than a month of this, she could bear it no longer. She decided to find Yang Guo, but what to do once she found him, she did not know. Unversed in the ways of the world, she was like a wild child of the deep mountains. The sudden turmoil left her completely at a loss. Descending the mountain, everything she saw was new and strange. She did not know the roads. When she met travelers, she asked, Have you seen Yang Guo? When hungry, she simply picked up food and ate it, not knowing she must pay. She caused many small commotions along the way. But seeing her innocent beauty, people could not help but treat her kindly. No one made trouble for her. No one at all? She could just steal your food? One day, in an inn, she overheard two men discussing how all the famous heroes of the realm had gone to the Lu Manor at Dashang Pass for the heroes' feast. She thought Yang Guo might be there as well. After asking for directions, she made her way to Lu Manor. Aside from Hao Da-tong, Yin Jiping, and Zhao Jijing, none of the 2,000 people in the hall knew who Xiaolong Nu was. They only saw that her beauty was astonishing, stirring an indescribable feeling in every heart. Sun Bu'er knew of her, but had never met her. Yin Jiping's face went deathly pale, his body trembling. Zhao Jijing shot him a sideways glance and sneered. Guo Jing and Huang Rong were also startled to see Yang Guo behave toward her with such abandon. Xiaolong Nu said, Gu'er, you truly are here. I finally found you. Tears streamed down Yang Guo's face. You won't leave me again, will you? Xiaolong Nu shook her head. I don't know, Yang Guo said. Wherever you go from now on, I'll go too. I'll go with you. Thousands crowded the hall, yet the two of them spoke as if no one else existed. Xiaolongnu held his hand, her heart torn between joy and sorrow. Huo Du was stirred by her beauty, yet failed to recognize her as the girl he had once attempted to propose to on Mount Zhongnan. Seeing young Guo in ragged clothes and intimately close to her, he felt disgust. "We're here to compete. Clear the space." Young Guo ignored him, holding Xiaolongnu's hand as they walked aside and sat shoulder to shoulder on the stone base of a pillar. His joy felt as if it might burst in his chest. Huo Du turned back to Zhu Ziliu. "Since you won't use a weapon, then let's settle victory with fists and palms." Zhu Ziliu said, "No. China is a land of propriety, unlike Mongol barbarians. A gentleman debates poetry, befriends others with the brush. I have a brush, not a blade. Why use weapons?" Huo Du said, "Very well. Watch out." He flicked open his fan and sent a gust toward him. Zhu Ziliu sidestepped lightly, shaking his head as if composing verse. His left palm drifted before him. His right hand swept the brush toward Huo Du's face. Huo Du shifted aside, noting the airy grace and strange angle of the technique. He dared not attack rashly, wanting to first understand this peculiar martial lineage. Zhu Ziliu said, "My brush sweeps aside 10,000 troops. Take care." The brush tip darted forward. Though Huo Du trained in Tibet, the Golden Wheel monk's knowledge encompassed every major style of the Central Plains. Since Huo Du aimed to gain fame in China, his mastery had demonstrated countless techniques from all major sects. But Zhu Ziliu's brushwork today was utterly bizarre, sweeping strokes like calligraphy, each movement seemingly written in the air, yet every point aimed precisely at vital acupoints. The Duan family of Dali originated from Wu Wei in Liangzhou. After becoming rulers of Dali, they spread Han learning and culture throughout the southern lands. Zhu Ziliu was the finest calligrapher of the south. Though devoted to martial arts, he never forsook literature. As his skill deepened, the two merged. He united the yi-yang finger with calligraphy to create this unique style. Others, even with great martial power, could not resist such art unless they possessed profound literary foundation. This style melded martial and literary mastery into one. Fortunately for Huo Du, he had studied the classics and poetry under Han tutors as a child, so he could barely keep up. The brush flickered, calligraphy containing acupoint strikes containing calligraphy, strokes like iron hooks and steel strokes, forceful and sharp, yet carrying an elegant scholarly aura. Guo Jing, unversed in literature, found it strange but marvelous. Hongrong, inheritor of her father's refined learning, saw its brilliance at a glance and silently praised it. Guofu approached her mother and asked, "Mom, he's waving that brush around. What kind of nonsense is that?" Hongrong, fully absorbed in the fight, answered without thinking, The steel of Feng Xuanling." Guofu blinked in confusion. "What steel of Feng Xuanling?" Hongrong, watching with pleasure, gave no further reply. The stele of Feng Xuanling was written by the Tang Dynasty minister Chu Shuiliang, a masterpiece of regular script. Critics praised Chu's calligraphy as celestial maidens scattering flowers, firm yet graceful, full of life, every stroke soaring, displaying perfect tension and release. Zhu Ziliu's one yi-yang calligraphy finger, using the brush in place of the finger, followed this same rigorous structure, precise as formal script. Huo Du did not understand the essence of yi-yang finger, but since he had once copied the stele of Feng Xuanling, he could at least anticipate that a horizontal stroke would be followed by a vertical one. Thus, he managed to defend himself methodically, showing no sign of defeat. Zhu Ziliu saw that he recognized this style of calligraphy. He shouted in praise, then called, "Careful! The cursive script is coming." Oh no, not cursive script. You can't beat that. Just lose. Just give up right now. Suddenly, he snatched off the hat on his head and flung it to the ground. His long sleeves billowed as he darted wildly about, his movements utterly defying convention. He looked as though mad, drunk, or possessed, yet the brush intent flowed freely, his fingers moving like serpents and dragons. Guo Fu laughed in alarm. "Mother, has he gone crazy?" Hong Rong said, "If he had another 3 cups, his strokes would be even better." She lifted the wine jug, poured 3 cups, and called, "Brother Zhu, have 3 cups to liven things up." With her left hand she held a cup, her right middle finger flicked its rim, sending the cup gliding steadily through the air. Zhu Ziliu pressed his brush down to force Huodu back a step, then snatched up the flying cup and drained it in one gulp. Yeah, it was pretty badass. In the middle of the fight, he's like, "Hey, step aside," and starts drinking. Hong Rong flicked the second and third cups in succession. Huodu saw the 2 of them drinking at the front of the formation, as though he didn't exist. He tried to smack the cups aside with his fan, but Hong Rong matched Zhu Ziliu's brush rhythm perfectly, always launching each cup through a fleeting gap, leaving Huodu unable to strike any of them. After downing 3 cups in a row, Zhu Ziliu called, "Many thanks! What formidable flicking finger skill!" Kind of weird. Hong Rong laughed. "And what a sharp self-expression scroll." Zhu Ziliu smiled. "All my life I've prided myself on my wits, yet I'm always a step behind this young girl. I've spent over 10 years perfecting this technique, and she sees through it at a glance." What he was writing was precisely Zhang Xu's self-expression scroll from the Tang Dynasty. Zhang Xu was famed as the saint of cursive script. Du Fu's poem, Song of the 8 Wine Immortals, said, "Zhang Xu, 3 cups and the saint of cursive emerges. Hat cast off before nobles, his brush dancing clouds and mist onto the page." Hong Rong had urged 3 cups upon him, first to suit the nature of the technique, second to heighten the boldness of his stroke, and the third to sap Huodu's momentum. As Zhu Ziliu wrote the character Dao in Porters Fighting for the Way, the final hook shot upward and sliced straight across Huodu's robe. Amid the roaring laughter of the gathered heroes, Huodu staggered back. That's it? Really? They're gonna leave us on a cliffhanger? Alright, well, I guess that's it. Pretty cool. I like this chapter. God damn it. What do you think? Is Zhu Ziliu going to win or is he going to lose? If he loses, we're fucked. Totally fucked. That's how the author made people buy his newspaper. What the hell? Right in the middle of the fight. All right. Well, I guess that's it. Pretty cool chapter. Okay, they're really hyping up this Dharma King dude. Is he really this powerful? Is he really? We shall see. So wait, so his head is totally inwards. How much? How much is that? They seem dumb. Maybe. They're really hyping up that guy, though. It's funny that the Dharma King thought that his disciple could win. He was so confident. But the guy got beat. All right. You guys remember the Japanese trend? I don't know if it was a trend or it was just like some memes on the internet. The donut head? Was that real? Yeah. I'm picturing that guy with the donut head. Let me show you. God, hold on. This thing. Bagel head, okay. Not donut. Well, yeah. So I'm picturing that's what the monk looks like. Kind of weird. Kind of weird. Some people had like double donut heads. Yeah. All right. Anywho, all right, that was fun. I'm excited for the next chapter. I want to see how our heroes fare. All right, guys. Gotta go do some work. All right. Thanks for joining. I love you. I'll see you next time. All right. Bye.